Alrighty, well, welcome back, everybody. So we'll do a little recap of last session. The Orphans fended off a kidnapping attempt on Lilith by a band of mercenaries sent to retrieve the amulet that she wears around her neck. Narrowly defeating the mercs, you all discovered that they were sent by a patient known only as Patient 86 at the Ravencroft Institute, an asylum for the criminally insane, and more specifically, a place where superpowered individuals believed to be suffering from psychoses or delusions are sent for rehabilitation. Additionally, Lilith found the key to her father's storage facility, a place where perhaps she may be able to find out more clues to her past. Shatter dealt with the guilt of being forced to attack his newfound friends, but discovered that he can sustain a massive amount of damage from yet reform his body from shattered glass. Martin Lee set the team up with a base of operations that still needs some work, but introduced them to Claire Temple, a nurse familiar with the acts of superheroism and how to treat their wounds sustained in battle. After a night's rest and some healing, the group now needs to determine their next moves while keeping watch over their shoulder for both the House of Blue Lights and damage control. So I shall turn things over to you guys at your new base of operations, the old firehouse close to Central Park.
I was sleeping.
I think this is the next morning, right?
Yeah, we can fast forward to the next morning.
Okay. I'm still sleeping.
Is the nurse still here, or has she gone?
No, she stuck it out through the night with you guys just to make sure that you all were okay. She kind of hunkered down in a nearby room.
Okay. Thank you.
I forget, did we heal?
Yeah, we healed.
We healed considering this morning, correct?
Not considering this morning. So you would heal up to your endurance rank at this point.
So, yeah, I know we've talked about it, guys. But what happened? The other night. That really could have gone a different way. That could have gone a lot worse. So I don't know what's on everybody else's mind, but the only thing I can think about is catching up to that group that tried to take Nyx and see if we can catch them by surprise.
We pretty much left them all for damage for the authorities to pick up, right?
Yeah. Yep. Other than we did out of character here. We did kill one, right? Is there one that died?
Yeah.
Out of that group, I'm trying to remember. Actually, I don't think that anyone actually perished. I think you were able to.
Rightfully fucked up. But
Okay.
Nobody died.
Just the state a couple of them were left in. I'm worried they may come back for us or her.
They will certainly try again. Not those specific people, but this person who is paying for these mercenaries will certainly not give up so easily. I was going to say, sorry. But we may find clues to who they are in this, what was it, the storeroom?
In the storeroom? The storeroom.
Because we got the key for that.
Yeah, that Maya's dad apparently had. There might be some answers to Maya's past in there.
Do we have the location of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
We know how to get there and everything? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We may glean some more information on who was after us on this patient 46.
Good as place to
86.
start is
86.
86, sure.
Mhm.
Whatever. Some number. I'm a cat.
86.
place to start is any.
Yeah. I would suggest we start there first before taking on the asylum.
Okay.
My worry is they seem to be one step ahead of us, or either they had been laying in wait for us to go to Maya's place forever, which doesn't seem logical to me. They know where we are.
I fear they may have a way to track her energy signature.
I was about to ask, could there be any way they're tracking us? And if that's the case, then do we want to lead them to, another location they may be expecting us to show up at now? Would we rather lead them to, draw them out, or should we just? We could go look into this thing and just keep our eyes peeled, looking over our shoulders. But
I would think they would need more time to regroup from the resounding defeat that we handed them.
you might be right. It'd be a good time to take advantage then.
So we might go quick while we have the chance. I'm wondering if we'd have to do some tests to see if, one, we should look for any kind of detecting device that they might be carrying. Either they're tracking this or they're tracking my energy signature. And I wonder if I don't nix out and I'm just myself, if I actually give off a signature. So maybe I shouldn't nix out until we're, it's a code black if we need nix to come. And then we also should try and figure out a way to, dampen or put me out of commission, because if anyone in that group was able to take control of me for long periods of time, that's not good. Either they'll have control of my powers or they'll release Nyx. And I don't think she's going to be very happy being imprisoned or not allowed in this plane for centuries.
I'm working on it.
Thank you. Make it a choker, please. So, do we want to go check out that storage bin?
Yeah, I think it'd be best that we move quickly while we know we've got a little bit of leverage and hopefully time.
Clint should also get street meat on the way.
Clint, did you get that message?
Do we have the orphan mobile, like the Ghostbusters mobile, like out of the firehouse? As we go cruising.
So I just sent one to you.
Yeah, if there's like a hearse we can.
Yeah. What am I?
Totally.
What am I getting?
Guys, can't tell you that right away, but I will here momentarily.
Someone's here.
Shit.
Someone's here. I'm feeling something.
Do you have a direction?
Let me see if how much freaking karma do I have?
Can I try to see if I can pick up the scent of somebody new?
Well, a knock just happened at the door.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Let me.
Nyx is going to fly up the pole to get on the second floor, so she's not seen.
I'm going to go. I'll go invisible. And phase we'll go there, go invisible and phase through the building to see who it is.
Okay, just right out the front?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a guy that looks to be roughly in his maybe mid-30s, standing outside. Medium build, in a black suit and a slightly off-kilter tie and a thick 5 o'clock shadow. And although he's a bit disheveled, he's kind of has a handsome debonair look about him. And though the morning is a bit overcast, he wears dark, round, red sunglasses.
What time is it right now? Oh, okay.
Do I recognize this power, his powers, as ones I've felt before?
Yes. But you may not have actually really run directly into him.
Yes, because
yeah.
I've got him. I found him on the. I got his powers off when I was riding the subway.
Yes.
Okay. I'll become visible.
Okay. He knocks at the door again.
I kind of telepathically say, should we have the nurse answer the door?
No, I think we're okay. Who are you?
Sit tight.
Oh, sorry. Are you staying here by chance?
Who are you?
Sorry, Matt Murdock of Nelson Murdock and Page. I'm looking for either a Colin or a Maya.
Who sent you?
A gentleman by the name of Martin Lee. I'm here to represent either Colin or Maya or both of them. I'm a lawyer.
Okay. Yeah. How do you know Mr. Lee?
Who am I talking to? I'm sorry.
Start heading towards the door. So.
Are you blind?
Yeah, if you couldn't tell. Sorry. Sometimes maybe I represent myself a little bit better than most.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm Colin. Go ahead and come inside.
Oh, you're Colin. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah. If it's okay, if there's someplace we could maybe all kind of meet and sit down, that would be great.
Yeah. Come on inside. I'll open the door and.
Right.
Can you figure out where you're going? Do I need to guide you?
No, I can.
Sorry,
I can make it okay.
I've never dealt with a blind person before. Don't want to be rude.
No problem. If you just lead the way, I can follow your footsteps. And he's got a cane with him that he kind of whips out, just to kind of help manage the staircase.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Walk in. It's okay, guys. Martin Lee sent him. Maya. Maya. You can come
her head
down.
will pop down, look, and then slide down the pole. And as she reaches the bottom, inside of her left leg, skin goes and gets that like rubbing on the pole. It gives her a little burn. She's like, ah! She kind of just walks over as she's rubbing her thigh.
I see you guys have made yourselves at home here.
Yeah, everybody, this is Matt Murdock. He's a lawyer that Martin sent.
And Claire Temple is there as well. She's at the top of the stairs, and as soon as she sees Matt, she says, "Matt? Oh shit, this is more serious than I thought." And Matt says, "Claire, is that you?" Well, I can't say I'm surprised to see you here. Can't stay out of trouble, can you? You know how it is, trouble finds me. And the two of them meet at the top of the stairs and have a hug together. And Matt says, "Claire and I are old friends. Listen, I'm glad you're here. Everybody okay if Claire's around? I would assume that some of you needed some patching up."
Yeah, we had a rough night.
Mr. Lee kind of filled me in on what was going on with you guys. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am and what my role will be moving forward. A few years back, the NYPD came under fire for allowing several superpowered officers to work just outside of the public eye with the intent on handling street-level threats that regular officers couldn't. They were based out of Hell's Kitchen precinct, the same one where some of you were presumably present during the attack that happened several weeks ago. The detective in charge of this special unit was Detective Christopher McCarthy, who was found murdered recently in a defunct nightclub. When he was in charge of that unit, one of his officers was caught on camera, on duty, displaying superhuman abilities. That video went viral, and due to the Sokovia Accords, the precinct came under fire by both the community at large and the U.S. government. I was brought on to defend the officer in question, and with a surprise witness in Steve Rogers, who risked imprisonment himself, was able to convince the jury to let the cops off as long as they registered their powers with the U.S. government. So, I've had some experience with handling cases with those that possess superpowers like yourselves, and that's what I'm here to do with you. But first, I need to hear the story from you. Our main mission, our main issue at the moment are the accusations that have been thrown about regarding the incident with the followers of the House of Blue Lights. I wish I could say that I've seen the footage, but as you can tell, it's a bit beyond my capabilities. My partners reviewed the footage, however, and they tell me that it seems like the footage was pieced together using security cameras and traffic cams, and it looks like it was heavily doctored.
It was.
Do you have any proof that your actions that night were in self-defense?
We do not.
Yeah, other than us saying it was in self-defense.
Colin, you had, just as a reminder, had Karen try to piece together some footage from that night, both from your POV.
That's right. She was working on it, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Karen, have you been able to get anything together?
Yes, Colin. While you were sleeping last night, I was able to compile and format video from the incident. While most of it is from your POV, I was able to access a few files from neighboring security footage to corroborate your actions and set them in a light that's more favorable than the one depicted by Reverend Loss.
Okay. Is there a way you can show that?
I don't think you've got like video, like hologram,
I was gonna say like
projection,
R2D2 projection.
Yeah.
That was our hope too.
I can email it to Mr. Murdock, and perhaps he can show it on his phone.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, so she sends that his way, and his phone blings, and he says, "What's this again?"
It's footage that I had Karen dupe up to show what we went through that night.
And
it's our version of it.
Who's Karen? Is there someone else here?
Yeah, kinda. She's the AI that runs my super suit that Tony Stark gave me.
Tony Stark gave that to you?
Yeah, before I made him really mad.
All right.
He has been a generous benefactor to us.
Yeah, he's the guy that gave us the funding for this place.
Okay. Well, I'll take that video and show it to my partners, and we'll see what we can do on that end. But hopefully with this, I might be able to keep them off your back, at least for a little while. I'm just curious to know how they got that footage in the first place. If that came off of traffic cameras and private security footage, I might be able to get them on cybersecurity violations.
Sweet.
Yeah, probably did, but
do you have any idea how they might have put all of that together?
Well, do you think the owl had anything to do with it?
So I was going to
Kind
think
of.
if it was that one person he was using to break into everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He is now a part of the net himself, and he might still have a bit of a grudge.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who is this? The owl, you said?
The owl? Yes.
Yeah. Leland Owsley
Who?
the second. Leland Owsley the second.
Leland Owsley the second?
Yeah.
He was a would-be crime kingpin.
Yeah, he
I'm
wanted to.
familiar with the first. I didn't realize there actually was a second.
Oh, I'm right on that, aren't I? It's the second.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Well, that's
Yeah.
What's your connection with this Leland Owsley?
We beat his ass.
Not really. He was trying to rival the Kingpin and beat him. So he had this drug that he was distributing called K, which he was getting from a angel. It's extracting from an angel that gave normal humans superpowers. And we kind of took down that operation. And I guess as we were fighting him to try to get him, he escaped into the internet, I guess. So, and now, like, I don't know if he has a physical presence or not. I don't know how that works, but yeah, he's kind of a ghost in the machine now.
Okay, back up a second though. You said an angel, like a literal heavenly angel?
It was hard to believe myself as well, but for all intents and purposes, yes.
This world just keeps getting curiouser and curiouser.
You're telling me.
Shouldn't for you. You're used to superpowers and weird stuff, aren't you?
Angels
Well,
are a whole other thing.
As I said, I've had some dealings with them in the past, yes, but only on the legal side.
Why are you lying to me?
I'm sorry?
You've got powers.
Kind of look over
I
at
can feel-
Tom.
I can feel them.
Claire speaks up, and she says, "Well, he's got you there, Matt. So you're gonna out me now too?"
Your secrets are safe with us, Matt Murdock. We are here to help.
I'm sorry,
All right.
people don't know.
Well, Claire knows.
Yeah, we don't. I mean,
There's a select few others that do as well. My partners do. Apparently now you do too.
yeah, I could feel it. I could feel you at the door
Hmm.
when I came outside. In fact, I've felt you before.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, phrasing. I did, Mr. Did. How much do you know about us and our powers? Have you
Well,
been
Mr.
briefed
Lee
on all
filled
of that?
me in over the phone and kind of gave me a basic description. And as I said, my partners have viewed the footage and kind of explained to me what they saw. So I've got a general idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if Mr. Lee knows. I don't have my own superpowers, I guess. I absorb other people's powers, and a few years ago, I was riding the subway, and I felt some powers that I thought were unique, so I absorbed them, and they were yours, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I took your you have like hypersense or something like that. Something I've actually gotten rid of those though, and changed them with some other stuff. But yeah, so that that's me. That's how I knew you had powers.
So I could kind of, when we met outside, obviously now you know that I knew you were there before I actually let you know that I knew you were there. I have heightened senses, and I knew I had caught a whiff of you before. And you're not exactly what you appear to be either, are you?
No, I'm an alien, I guess, is the best way. I mean, I was born here on Earth, but both of my parents were Skrull.
I don't know what that is, but I can certainly tell that the scent you give off is not human.
Yeah, we're an alien race, and I'm a specialized Skrull. Not everybody can do the power thing, but we can shapeshift, take other people's identities, and then along with it, I can take their powers as well.
And it doesn't do any damage to the other party, I take it,
No.
right?
You don't even know.
Do you still have those powers?
No, I passed them. It's like I only can have a certain amount of powers at a time. They're, I guess, slots in a way. I don't know how it works. Mom and Dad never told me. But yeah, so I replaced those powers with some other powers.
Well, you learn something new every day. Okay, so I guess back to the business at hand. My job right now is to kind of keep this House of Blue Lights off your back. And my understanding too is you're under kind of surveillance by damage control. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't know if they know that we're here now.
Martin seems to think that he was able to get you guys here without really being followed.
That's good.
So, that's going to be a little bit of a tougher nut to crack, but I and my team will start looking into this incident with the House of Blue Lights, and hopefully if we can prove a case that you guys were acting in self-defense, hopefully the DODC will back off. My advice for the time being is try to lay low for a while. But being in the business myself, I know that can be a little bit hard to do, but I'll do my best to make sure that this goes away. But under any circumstances, try to avoid confrontation with either the House of Blue Lights or damage control. If the DODC comes calling, whatever you do, don't fight them. Just go along and call me before you call anyone else. Here's my card. It's got Braille on it.
Nice.
I assume you all are not registered under the Sokovia Accords. Is that correct?
Yes.
Don't think I am.
What now?
The Sokovia Accords.
He's fairly new at this, so he definitely wouldn't be.
Several years ago, this was an act that was passed by Congress to register superhumans in light of the attack on New York and in Sokovia proper. Not too long after that, there was an incident that occurred that killed several international individuals in several different governments from around the world, and the heroes were called to task over that. And technically, anyone with superpowers are supposed to be registered. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not. So I'm not going to force you into doing that. It would help your case if you were. But let me do the work that I need to do first before we discuss anything about trying to get you all registered. But in the meantime, try to keep your noses clean. And is there anything else I can do for you?
I'm not human. Would I have to register?
Well, your attempting to pass as human, yes.
Thor's not
guess.
human.
That I surely I do not have to register.
That must be the cat.
Yes.
I really don't know the legalities of that. I'll have to look into that myself.
It's going to be a problem for me, sir,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't be found right now. And
How's that?
People want this,
Ah,
and they're after me, and they can track me somehow. We haven't figured out how, though. Whether it's tracking the item, and then she'll nix up on her arm, and smoke kind of comes up, or it's the power signature. I don't know. And then it goes away. So, if I were to register, they would know immediately. And right now, we're just trying to figure out what's going on, because there's some bad people that we just got in a fight with, and they want this and control over me and/or. So, I don't even know if I should be mentioned.
well, like I said, I'm not going to try to force you all into this. Just, like I said, do your best to lay low until this blows over. And I
It's
know
gonna be
that's a lot
tough
to
to
ask.
do.
Mhm.
It is, especially since we have to go to a location today.
Yes. We must finish our investigation. It is of the utmost importance.
Where are you going today?
You familiar with Fremont Storage?
Ooh, for legal purposes, you might not want to know.
No, we're doing
Uh,
it legally. We have the key.
That
You
is
do
true.
own it.
That's fair.
Friedmont I am familiar with. At least
Yeah.
where it is, yeah.
Well, we have to go check on a storage unit. Hopefully, it'll give us insight on this whole thing and why I can do this, why people are after us.
You.
All right, well, just be careful out there. Is there anything else that you guys need from me?
I wouldn't know what.
All right, well, you know where to
Yes.
reach me. You've got my card.
Appreciate your help.
Yes, thank
Claire,
you.
you want to grab a cup of coffee? Don't mind if I do. You guys okay?
We are good. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Don't call me. I'll call you. All right, and then they're going to take their leave unless there's anything else that you guys want to discuss.
No. Can't think of anything.
All right, so what do you want to do now?
Do we want
Guess
to
we're
make
gonna
that trip?
go. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go to a storage unit.
Yeah.
As
Grab
quietly
some
and
breakfast on the
discreetly
way.
as possible.
Maya's gonna pack up her bag.
I want to do one quick thing before we leave.
Okay.
Suit up and turn invisible.
Mhm.
Does the suit go invisible as well?
Yeah, I think you did that already.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Mhm.
Okay. I am going to fly out one of the windows or whatever and just do rooftop surveillance around the building to see if I see anybody watching us.
Both visually and picking up powers. You're not
Mhm.
getting any powers, and doesn't seem to be any visual surveillance either. Well, perhaps I should have you roll for that one. Give me an intuition roll on that.
I was gonna say. Okay, well, we know we're good then.
And I will call Karma. Got a 69.
Did you really? First
dude.
one.
Yeah.
Quite literally, I mean, you have done a thorough sweep of the area. And other than multiple security cameras all over the place, you do not see any human or otherwise that is keeping any kind of active surveillance on the building itself.
Okay. Wasted that 69, but okay.
Now, you didn't really waste it. I mean, that really definitely gave you quite a bit of information.
Gotcha.
Okay. I mean, you know for a fact, at least right now, this place is safe.
Gotcha. All right. I'll fly back in and relay that to everybody. Hey guys, it looks like we're clear. I flew around and I don't think anybody's watching us right now. I'm confident we're good.
Excellent.
And Sean, you said you were going to pack some stuff up.
Yeah, just all her belongings into her backpack and go as Maya.
Okay, or Maya or Lilith.
Sorry, yeah. Then I'm getting it wrong.
And Matt was calling you Maya because that's what he was told by Martin Lee, because he doesn't know that. So.
And that's why I called you Maya as well, because I picked up on that.
All right, so you want to head to Freedmont's then, to the storage area.
Yeah, and as we leave,
Storage.
I'm picking up the axe. It's coming with, just to be clear on that. I'm not leaving it at the studio.
I'll unsuit and go as just some random person.
The mace will be in the backpack. I'm bringing the mace along as well.
In the year 2180, humanity achieved spike drive technology, accessing the vastly strange metadimensional pathways to reach the stars. The following centuries were an epoch of discovery and growth. We mastered fundamental forces, confronted our social demons, and seized the reins of our biology. And we prospered together. Then one day the gates failed. What we built in 10 centuries we lost in 10 days. Our Edens desolate, our industries still, and our cities brief orgies of cannibalism and violence, then silent tombs.
Metal as
Please
fuck.
remember to reference often
The brief orgy of cannibalism,
cannibalism and violence.
My long-term goal is to omit the adjective brief.
The year is 4451, and out here beyond the Cygnus Loop, at the edge of cultivation, an ember of our golden age struggles to ignite and burn anew. Welcome to the Rheingold Cluster.
Join the crew of the Admiral Grace for Astronomica, a Stars Without Number actual play podcast. Check us out everywhere pods are cast.
All right, so Freedmont is a high security storage facility in the downtown area of Manhattan. When you guys arrive, it's a rather tall building, probably about 6 stories tall. You wouldn't expect a storage facility to be like vertical like that. Most storage facilities that we're aware of in the Midwest are all laid out on a large plot of land. But this is actually pretty narrow, tightly compacted between several other buildings. Even the exterior of the building has a bit of a high-tech look to it. You actually can drive a car or a truck onto a platform outside of the building, and it has its own elevator system on the outside where you can actually drive in from the street level to any of the 6 levels on the building. It has a bit of a sterile appearance to it, both inside and out. And inside, it is immaculate and seems more like a high-end waiting area for a doctor's office. And inside, there's a single, window with a probably about 6-inch glass in there, and a little speaker phone in the middle of that where the caretaker sits behind the glass. Can I help you folks?
Yes. I'm here to check on my my father's storage unit. This is our key.
Oh, yes. That's one of our electronic keys. It looks like a regular key, but this one, if you've not been in his facility before, you'll see a pad on the outside. You just hold the key up to the pad. His unit is located up on level 4 towards the very back end. If you'll take the elevator just to your right up to the 4th floor, you'll find his unit at the very back end.
Oh, thank you. I brought my friends just in case it was something I have to heavily move. I'm not. So these are just my buddies. Is it okay if they go and help me, or do I need a pat? Okay.
Oh, no, that's
Come on,
fine.
guys.
Okay.
Right.
Do.
So you guys end up on the 4th floor, and the corridor is long and dark. When you step off the elevator, a single light above you comes on. And as you begin to move down the hallway, motion sensors basically detect your movement, and they light up as you go and shut down
cool.
behind you.
All right.
It's a bit of a walk, but eventually you find your way to the back of the hallway to your dad's storage unit. And as stated, there's a little keypad off to the side, and it has a little image of the key on the pad, and all you have to do is just place that up there and it should open up.
Okay. She's gonna pause with the key and says, I'm gonna assume that we triggered some sort of alert by coming in here, but I'm almost definite that when I do this, we've only got a limited time before we have another problem, because if they were staking out my grandmother's place, there's no reason to think that they didn't know where this was, and they're just waiting for us to open it.
Then
But-
let us be quick.
I have
Exactly.
a feeling if they knew where this was,
They would have broken in.
yeah, they would have already been in here to take everything out of it.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking the high tech would be like, oh, they gotta, and she just puts the key up to the pad to unlock it.
Okay. When you do that, the door slides up on its own, and a light comes on in the room. And the room is not what you would expect. The room is not filled with dusty boxes and crazy artifacts from around the world. What you see is a fairly bare room with a cot and end table, a card table with 2 chairs, a weird toilet setup that is attached to a large tank, and a modest kitchen setup with a refrigerator, microwave, and a stovetop. There's one bookshelf with a collection of books on archaeology and mythology. And in the back corner of the room is a large plastic or glass cubicle with another cot inside, a single chair, and another toilet connected to the same tank outside. And there's a large clear door with a keypad outside that locks the door tight.
Well, this is interesting.
Somebody's living here, but the question is, where are they right now?
Well,
And why
seeing
are
as
they?
I can lose control, I'm wondering if that was for my father, if he ever lost control.
Yes, this must have been his like a safe house he was using.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe was he on the outside or the inside or both? Depending. I don't know.
I'm
It just
gonna
seems
kinda
like it's a
sniff around the
containment.
box.
It's a containment place, but there was obviously someone else on the outside to let him out.
Right. Can I kind of sniff around and see if I can kind of glean usage for this box?
Sure.
Reason feat?
Yep. Or well, what are you looking for specifically? I think
If I can figure out what kind of, if this is some sort of like a cryogenic chamber or some sort of like stasis chamber or whatever, if I could just try to glean the purpose of it.
Okay. I would say reason. Yeah.
Karma, which is good. 37 becomes a 47, and I will spend another 4 points to make that yellow. Yellow on monsters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, with your cat vision, because you see in a slightly different spectrum than humans do, right?
Sure.
You kind of pick up on the glass, etched into the glass, but invisible to most of the folks that are in here. You can see little like fiber optic patterns inside that glass. And it is very reminiscent of the same types of patterns that you saw on the walls of the crypt when you guys were in the astral plane watching Lilith's father open the casket to Gilgamesh's tomb.
Ooh, okay. I will relay that. This appears to be at least somewhat inspired by the tomb that your father was exploring.
You said there's a small kitchenette. Is there a fridge?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm gonna go open the fridge. Anything in it?
There's some brewskis in there. There's some bologna, some just all the kind of necessities, to basically just stay here for a couple of days.
I'm gonna pick up the bologna and look at the expiration date.
Probably about 2 months ago. Probably was the actual expiration date on it.
Someone's using this place like now.
No, not
expiration.
now.
Well, yeah.
Expiration date was old.
Yeah, expiration date's only a couple months old.
I haven't been in here that long, which means somebody was here after the blip, but before.
No,
I came
that's
to
still
find-
before the blip.
2 months is still before the blip.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because we've been very busy since we've met.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I guess so maybe somebody was here, but blipped. Is there any signs of active life, like something rotting in a trash can or something that means that they'd left unexpectedly?
There's like a banana peel that was left in there that is all shriveled up.
Because I'm thinking they wouldn't leave here and leave something to spoil if they're not going to come back, or they're done.
Well, they probably will.
Shadow's
They're
going
not
to
coming
start
back.
thumbing through the books on the bookshelf, just seeing if I see anything up there that sticks out.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff on. It's mostly stuff on mythology, and it's world mythology from all different types of cultures. But make a reason feat for me.
Sure, yes. Be on. Okay. Karma. Yeah. Good call on that. Spend the. Yeah, we'll spend the points to go ahead and get it up to green just to
Okay.
see.
I mean, the basic theme of most of the mythological and archaeological books that are there are all connected in some way, shape, or form to gods of darkness.
Interesting.
He was researching Nyx.
Yeah. Lilith's gonna create and summon dark energy inside that container. Can she?
You can certainly try, sure.
It's just a roll on my power. Right.
Mm-hmm.
36 is a green.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right. You attempt to do so, and you see a small sliver of blackness, like a little black ball, start to kind of form on the inside. Whatever it was you were trying to shape in there, it starts to take form. But as soon as it does, the entire case, the glass walls of that chamber light up with kind of a greenish glow to them, and you see those patterns that Mr. Cuddlebear saw light up in this green glow, and it immediately dissipates.
Okay. Was the door
there.
Open on this?
It was
containment?
not.
It was not.
It was
Okay.
not.
She's gonna try and see if she can open the door and then send something in.
Okay.
But that assumes that she can actually open the door.
Yeah, you gotta figure out how to open it.
Yeah. Okay. So
It
She'll
has,
kind
a
of-
it has a keypad on it.
does it have the press key or an actual just a number keypad?
Actual number keypad. Mhm.
Okay.
Try your birthday.
Try your
So
birthday.
birthday. Yeah.
That is exactly what opens it.
So kind of go. She opens the door, but she'll stand back a little bit. Can she open the door and leave it open, or does it automatically close?
It will automatically close. Yes.
Okay. She'll have the door open and do a little bit of summoning
Mhm.
inside again.
When you did that, as soon as you opened the door, the green lights went whoop, and they went off.
Okay.
So if you summon again, you can summon whatever
That's
you want
fine.
inside there, as long as the door's open.
All right. She'll unsummon and it'll dissipate. She'll close the door, and then she'll turn around and walk past Colin and says, "If I ever lose it, now we know where you can put it."
We need to take this with us.
We won't lose it.
I don't think we can move.
Can we
this.
take
This is
it?
a part of the building.
Yeah, it's definitely, you would have to disassemble it completely. Now, it's possible that with some guidance you might be able to do that. Cuddle Bear might be able to talk you all through it, but that's going to be a pretty hefty task, and you'll need the right tools for it for sure.
I'm thinking that, is there anything else in this room that is like the glass? Because I'm thinking, Mr. Cuddlebear, if you could recreate this power source and what it's doing inside as maybe a baton or a bolt or something that can, then you have a weapon against me.
Yes, it could be done. Some sort of collar, even
Mhm.
that you could activate as
A literal choker.
like a panic device on your own, even.
That would be nice.
Cuddle Bear, make a reason feat.
I am lying out my ass. I have no idea how to do this whatsoever.
But I can figure it out. I'm a smart kitty. I'm gonna call Karma 2. 67, dude. Well, that's deep.
Ah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna spend to make it. I'll take the deep yellow, unless I need a red. Do I need a red?
No, you don't need a red. You're all right.
Okay.
Your instinct is that, though, it has nothing to do with the glass, it has everything to do more with the glyphs.
Symbols. Yes. Maybe the glass was just an easy way to etch it on there, but I think that it's more like a rune, like runes of protection, perhaps.
If you can see them, and she looks around for like a pen, paper. Look, let's.
Oh yeah, I can see them, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can't see anything. What do you see? And show it. Maybe is it like all over, or is it just a band, or just a
It-
single?
it
Like, is
is.
it repeated?
all over this big box runs pretty much the length of the backside of the storage unit. Okay. And it is a full box with basically, and I said glass, but it's really more of a very, very thick acrylic. Okay. And they're all these acrylic panels. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor. And so those glyphs, when you saw it light up green, those glyphs were on every single panel. And there were multiple glyphs on each one.
Okay.
So when it lit up, they could see it too, or could I? Was
Yes,
that
they could see that. Yes, when it lit
Oh,
up. Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So I guess she says, she asks, I suppose, to Cuddlebear, are those the symbols? Were those the symbols that you saw? And they
Yes.
just lit up. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, there's something about the symbols. So could you, someone can write this down or jot it? Because she's curious, so she's going to close the door and summon inside to make it glow green. And then she's going to try and copy down which symbols are on which side. In her notebook or whatever, and then she's going to try and research those, see if if they resemble the cloth or all kinds of stuff. So
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, you can record that, right?
Yeah, Karen, can you record that?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
sweet. No, if we could just go to Kinko's and get a printout, I'll be happy.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll let I guess Colin fly around or move around to record everything that he can see. And
Shatter.
I'll keep the summon going as long as I can.
Yes, sir.
While you were flipping through those books, a photograph falls out of one of those. It looks like it was just randomly placed in one of those books.
Look at this photograph. Pick that up and examine it. see what I'm seeing.
Ancient Euphrates dick pic.
You recognize kind of the man that you saw on the astral plane that was Lilith's father. Okay, but he's considerably younger, probably in his mid to late 20s, and he's with 2 other individuals, a woman who appears to be in her mid 30s and another man close to Marcus's age with a goatee and a full head of long black hair. Marcus has his arm around the woman, and you don't recognize her, but there is something familiar about the man with the long black hair. And if you squint your eyes just right, this may very well be the man that you saw in your conjoined vision in the astral plane, the magician that fought back the essence of Nyx when Marcus fell to the Blip.
So as that all starts to dawn on me, I'm like, hey, gang, and I kind of flip the picture around to them so they can kind of see it and say, this just, here. And I kind of reach out and hand it toward Lilith.
And when you hand that over, you turn it as you're handing it to her, and you see that there are 3 names on the back.
Ooh, wow.
She'll take it and then look directly at the names and then look at the actual picture.
The names are Marcus Cantunal, Beatrix Duchamp, Duchamps. The S is silent. and and Alexander Ludgate.
Do are the 2 of those names that look familiar to her, as far as how tied to him and his work were they, and would she have recognized either of them from when she was a child and actually went on the digs with her father.
Make
Does she recognize them from her childhood, or are they just brand new people that she doesn't?
Make a reason feat for me.
87 yellow.
Okay.
Remarkable. Oh, sorry.
You remember an argument that your mom and dad had when you were about 5, maybe 6 years old. You can't quite put your finger on it. But you remember your mom saying over and over again, in some context or another, "I'm not B."
Okay. So at least I understand that this person was a point of conflict with my parents.
But B could
At some
be
point, yeah.
short for anything else, you know. But in the conversation or the argument that you remember, they were certainly talking about a woman.
Yeah. Okay.
His previous partner, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm wondering if these two people, she kind of flips it back over, would have been the ones out here with my father in there. I wonder if there's anything else. Are there any drawers in these cabinets? Like, has everybody gone through everything? Because she's going to start looking through it for anything, these symbols, any more descriptions, more pictures, something that might be left behind, a wallet, clothing, something.
All of those symbols that you have seen on the walls, every once in a while in those little books, you will see hand-drawn like outlines over top of pictures of ancient artifacts or a cuneiform or wall etchings, anything, any photographs that are in there depicting old artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad or someone has gone in and traced over certain things, and the patterns that he is tracing are very similar, if not exact, but similar to the etchings that are in fiber optics in that cage.
Colin, can you help? Maybe Karen can record these so we can. There's all these books and they all have these symbols, and if we're going to translate it, it would be great to have these symbols in context historically.
Sure. How many books are there?
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of little books that
a bunch of
Shatter was looking through.
Sorry,
Right.
yeah, a bunch of small books.
Because I was saying I would like us to take some of them, if not all
Yeah,
of them.
can we?
Well, this
enough
is.
that
I
we can-
mean, if we're safe here, we can just lock it back up and come back. So
That's true. That's true. I know where this place is now. I can always just come if I need to.
assuming there's no blocking.
Now, if you're looking around the rest of the room,
Yeah.
um,
And trying to get Karen
Probably.
to record everything that any silent symbols and context of the ruins.
that
Just-
little end table that was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That little end table that's sitting there in the room, he had several more photos up there. And there's a large photo of you, Lilith, at age 6 or 7, with your mom and dad in a family photo. Several other photos of you through the years, including ones in the time after Marcus left. But nearly all the photos that are out there are of you.
She'll tear up a little bit as she realizes that he had access to pictures of her when she thought she was rejected.
I'll walk up behind her and take her hand. Are you okay?
Yeah. I just remember this picture. I remember this day. It was
Tell me about it.
3 years after he left us. I just thought he didn't care. That's all. And then she'll grab some pictures. And the pictures she will take in her bag.
Okay.
But she will try and, like, are they like bookmarks in books? Like maybe a mark of the page or something like that. And
Sure.
if they're bookmarked, then try and find another way. Like dog-ear the ancient priceless text.
I think most of these he stole from libraries from the look of it.
Yeah, probably has Columbia University stamped on the back of the book. Yeah, she'll just kind of put all the pieces in her bag if she's got like the pictures. If there's any book that happens to be like a more of a expanded encyclopedia of these ruins, she'll take it. But otherwise, she's just going to rely on Karen's videoing of all the various books and tracings. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but she'd like to go through and at least get a snapshot of each of the traced runes.
Mm-hmm.
If we got to go fast, she'll just flip through just to look at, and if all of a sudden, if the page has a rune on it, she'll stop. Karen, keep on flipping. The goal is to construct an alphabet.
Okay.
Cool beans.
Where to now?
Mr. Murdock said we should lay low. We'd probably head on, get all this stuff back, yeah?
Go back to the firehouse.
Yep,
Yeah,
let Karen
that's-
do
yeah.
her thing.
Go there and let Karen work, and then
Matter of the asylum.
that's not laying low.
We would have to go covertly.
I mean, do we want to wait for them to come to us again, or are we gonna go chase after them?
I mean, honestly, we probably could hang out here for a night. We've got some food in the fridge, right? Or is that just bologna and bread?
Yeah,
It's
kind of
most of that's already spoiled. Yeah.
There's no cans of Spam or peanut butter? Come
No
on.
tuna.
Oh, yeah, you got. Yeah, I mean, you could probably cobble together a meal.
I really expected like 150 Tostinos, but it's stuffed in a freezer.
We can head back to our base and like pick up some supplies so we can at least start stocking our pad.
Yeah, I mean, are we even going to be able to get into Ravencroft?
Well, you and Mike certainly could.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'd find a way in.
I could make my way from the sky and squeeze in if you guys can get in and open up something. Or I could do it just by breaking the window, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, stealth.
Yeah, by breaking a window on like the fifth floor.
We can quietly remove the window panel. That
Oh yeah, can't you just melt stuff like that?
yeah, we'll just pull it right off. No big deal.
Well, in that case, I can create a nice little Nick's chariot, and we can just go into an open window.
Here we go.
But do we really want to risk that now? I mean, we've
No,
already got heat.
I
We might
don't
have people
think
who are
so.
following us that aren't involved in this part, but are involved in the other part, like this, my problem, and they're gonna blow our cover, maybe.
Or we
We've
could
got
get them to fight each
two
other.
different groups.
We could get them to fight each other like
That would be nice.
True Romance style.
Yeah.
Bust in the room
Yeah,
at the same
that's-
time. We'd be like, hey, what the ooh. And then we just
Yeah.
sneak on out.
All the doves get
Let's go.
released.
Let's get the hell out of here.
All right.
Close it back up.
Because it's still pretty early in the day, right? We definitely don't want to go.
Yeah, it's noonish.
Lilith's gonna look for anything like a cardboard box, or something that has some books or something to use as an excuse of this is what I picked up.
Yeah, there's a couple of empty cardboard boxes in there.
Take some of these books on mythology, please.
Yeah, I'll take the most important ones that had the most pictures of the whatever, or might have had explanations or given context to the ruin in the picture. I don't know how many of those books are going to be, or if I'm just going to take them all, or I just think that this is a very safe library, you know. Whereas if we take it out, what if they get a hold of me, and now they have what essentially is like the.
Well, we'll keep them in our base. We're gonna have to assume that our base is going to be secure and safe.
It's a broken down fireplace. It's not a high tech.
For now,
it's not this, and it's not going to turn blue if I go nuts, is it? Or green if I go nuts, is it?
We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Anyone can come in and swipe these books from our firehouse, but nobody can get in here.
Well, you're going to take some of the books. Just don't take all of the important ones.
How do I know what's important? There's like how many of these books?
There's probably about 25 books in there altogether.
Okay, so how about this? Just take some books that don't seem too important. That way, the important books are here safe.
How many of them had traced runes?
All of them.
Okay, load up the 2 boxes with all the books, and hand 1 box to Colin. It's like, be useful. She gives him a smack on the ass, and then picks up the other box.
See Colin just bright red when she does that.
All right.
And then everybody's leave, and she'll shut the door, and then is it auto lock or anything, or how does it?
Yeah, it pretty much auto locks then when you exit.
All right. She'll start walking back to the elevator.
Okay. And then you guys are heading back to base, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Base.
As you guys are heading back, Colin, you get a phone call.
Who is it?
It is Martin.
Let me see who it is. Hey, Martin, what's up?
I take it Murdock got in touch with you already.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sending him over. I think I guess he'll be helpful.
Yeah, he should work hard for us. I just wanted to let you know in the meantime, I took Alexander's advice and made a call to an old friend from my days rescuing human trafficking victims. I won't go into too many details as we may be skirting what may or may not be legal here, and don't tell Murdock about this. I think that goes without saying. But I have someone that should be able to create some convenient delays in the House of Blue Light's global network release. I gave him your number, Colin. So if you receive an encrypted message from someone by the name of Micro or Microchip, that's my guy.
Okay. Microchip.
That's just what he goes by online.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Mr. Lee,
guess I'll just wait for his call then. Any idea what he's gonna do though?
That's not my business. But I'm paying him to make sure that they don't go up anytime too soon. At least until we can get our ducks in a row.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, well, appreciate it. And Mr. Murdock said for us just to lay low, so I guess we're really not good at that though.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah, thanks. We'll talk to you later.
All right, give me a call if you need anything.
All right, bye. That's Mr. Lee. He's setting us up with a guy that he used to work with that is going to help us with the House of Blue Light situation.
Who's that?
Microchip is his name. apparently he's good at dealing with. He said back when Mr. Lee was doing the working to stop human trafficking is when he worked with microchips. So he's
He's a hero.
I don't know what he's. I'm kind of scared by this, but okay, this is not laying low, guys.
It'll be fine, I'm sure.
I've got plenty of things to research, so
Yeah. Okay. Guess we'll just head back.
Okay. All right, so you guys make it back with no real issues at all. Kind of can make yourself some lunch and go about the business of doing whatever research that you want to do.
laptop, opening the books and trying to find out, basically trying to find the locations of where these pictures might be, so I can maybe see if there's a pattern of based on location.
Mm-hmm.
So she's getting real, they're all connected. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Mr. Cuddlebear will help you try to make heads and tails of it.
Yeah,
Is it gonna help like a cat helps, like walking in front of me and hitting the keyboard and shit? Or
I'm gonna lay it right on top of the book that you have.
yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm gonna
read some books and whatnot.
I have no idea what they're doing, what they're doing. So I'm gonna Google the other two names on the back of that picture.
Okay. All right, well, let's start with, the Google search will be faster. So, Beatrix Duchamps was...
Oh, the S was silent.
Sorry, Duchamp was also an archaeologist who was working out of Oxford. In the 1970s into the 1980s, and towards the end of the decade of the 1980s. And she was famous kind of for puddle jumping and going to far reaches of the earth, places that had never been explored before, and searching for ancient artifacts and so forth. The Alexander Ludgate is a psychologist and is a teacher at Harvard University.
Still alive?
Seems to be, yes.
Is Beatrice still alive?
No, she passed away in the mid-90s.
Okay.
And you find obituaries, but nothing that is the actual cause of death.
Okay. It doesn't say anything about mysterious circumstances or anything like that?
No mysterious circumstances, but you do see that she was survived by her partner of many years, Alexander Ludgate.
Gotcha. Okay.
They were an item.
Hey guys. I Googled the names of the other two people on the back of the picture. Beatrice, she passed away in the mid-90s. She was an archaeologist. But the Ludgate guy, he's still alive.
Is there a contact number?
No, if I find it, he was a psychologist and he's teaching at Harvard.
Oh,
Let's get a number.
Yeah, I can
wanna
probably find
see-
it.
Well, we know his name, and I can just call up there. I'll be Maya,
Well,
historical and
just
archaeologist at Columbia University.
one other thing. apparently him and Beatrice were an item, because in her obituary, he's listed as her partner and survivor, but there's no cause of death for her.
Well, let's go ask Alex.
Yeah.
See if we can get an email or some contact, and let's reach out.
Hey,
I'll reach
Karen,
out
can
as
you
my
give me-
mother.
Is that wise?
I don't know, but he would know my mother.
Karen, can you get me the contact information for a Professor Alexander Ludgate at Harvard?
He might also know a lead on one of the other shards.
You know, or maybe he'll be able to explain all of this.
I have that information for you, Colin.
Okay, you just let me know when you want to make the call. I've got his information.
Yeah. Should I use my phone, or do we have a way to mask who calls?
Star 68? Does that still work? Does that work on cell phones?
This place got a landline?
I thought it was 67.
Yeah, which is it? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I'll just fuck it. I'll call.
Yeah, it's a university. I don't think they're gonna have tracking.
I'll dial the number Karen gave me, put it on speakerphone, and set it down on the table in front of Lilith.
Okay.
It's all you.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Maya Kuntal. I'm actually trying to get in contact with Professor Alexander Ludgate. He is an old family friend, and I'd like to speak with him about, well, I'm hoping to find my daughter with this blip and all. I don't know where she is, and I'm just trying to track down leads. Anyway, again, my name is Maya Kuntal. I'm a history and archaeology professor here at Columbia University. I just wanted to reach out and see if my daughter has reached out to him by chance.
Is this some sort of joke?
No, it's not.
I know who Maya Tunnel is.
Yes.
And she was one of the individuals lost in the cataclysm.
What? She turn on a video call on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, does it look like I was lost? What's going on here?
Lilith.
Maya. I'm looking for Lilith.
No. You're Lilith.
You're who?
An old friend of your father's. Are you nearby?
Maybe.
We should talk.
Okay. To keep up, let's continue and pretend that I'm not insane and that I am Maya and I did not blip, please. Let's deal with that whole issue on some other level. I'm here with some of my friends who are also helping me find my daughter. Where can we meet you and when?
Come to Harvard at the library. I'll meet you there.
Did she allow her video to come through?
Colin.
Can I see?
Colin.
Can I see them?
Colin gives the thumbs up.
And can you see him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking,
yeah.
like, because I turned on my video to show that I am Maya,
Sure.
but I didn't know if he allowed or the person. on the other
Yes.
end.
Yeah, you can see him. Give me 1 second here. Let me just pull him up here. I'm going to drop his token in here. Oh, no, I'm not. That is not a token. Give me 1 second. That is not a token. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Actually, I have to find him here. Give me a second. As is usually the case, you have taken me to a place I was not prepared to go.
That's what we do. That's what we do, baby.
I said they would take you places. I did not say that there would be places you'd want to go.
It took
One of my favorite villains.
over an hour and a half for Tyner to get slightly fussy with Foundry this time. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good run.
That was my own damn. That was my own damn.
Oh,
fault.
this one's you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't been playing with Foundry.
Yeah.
Do you see the face of the token
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, motherfucker.
Magnum PI.
I fucking know that fucking fuck.
Oh yeah.
And goddamn it, I can't remember the actor's name. What the fuck is his name?
Oh,
I don't know. I can't
He's
think of it either.
from Deadwood and
yeah, Deadwood and
Yeah.
John Wick movies.
John Wicks. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, I can't remember his damn name, but yeah, that's who it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, God damn it.
I will say okay. Anywhere in the library? It's quite large.
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. No, I'll just meet you outside. I have a private study inside where we should be able to meet quietly.
Okay. When?
How soon can you get here?
What is remarkable flight speed from New York City to Boston?
Right.
You probably get there in about 35 minutes or so.
Oh, really? Shit.
Probably. Straight shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to go to the airport or anything.
Yeah.
Wait for
But we would be in the sky and we'd all be inked up instead of at night where it looks camouflaged. We'd just be a giant black
Yeah, I
magic
don't
carpet
know.
going through the air. Sonic
they'll
speeds.
they'll call it a UFO. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, I can
fly, just not that fast.
I can fly too.
Also, the
How
whole idea
about
of
after the library closes. Library closes at 9. I can meet you afterwards.
yes,
Just as the
9
library.
p.m.
How
At the-
how do we get in?
Archaeology library, natural sciences library,
The main
Engineering?
library.
the what?
Main library.
Maine. Okay, thank you.
You should be able to get there by then.
9 o'clock. We'll see you there, sir. She hands
Anthony.
up, and then she goes, "What was that?"
That was the dude.
Did I like? She's looking at everybody else. Like, do you see a 15-year-old? Even you, Mr. Cat?
No,
Do
but
I
he
look 15?
he knew.
Ow!
Because he's
My
the
voice
one
is
who-
different. My face is different.
That was the guy. That was the guy. I think he's the one who sent it to you. That's how we knew.
Mm,
That's
I
my
don't
guess.
know, because that would be. I don't think. No, he wasn't the same person that was in the
vision
that we had.
Yes, he
in
was.
He
Yes, he
was
was.
the same guy.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Just
Okay, that's what
older.
I was curious. Like, so when I saw him, I would
Just
immediately
older and
recognize
bald.
him as in that vision or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Okay, as soon as that happened, then I'd be like, oh, and I'd be a little bit more forthcoming, or would have been with him if I'd recognize. I thought he was just some dude that's like, I know Lilith. Like, who the fuck are you? And how do you know me? All right, cool. She's more relaxed, I suppose.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you want to make a little bit of a roll to see what you can figure out on those symbols?
Absolutely would love to.
Okay.
That's a reason, but do I get anything for my talents or
What are your talents?
history, archaeology, anthropology, occult lore, Spanish, and dead languages? and I'm a pretty damn smart 15-year-old, evidently.
And I'm gonna try to assist in it.
I think she would know basics of that. I don't think she knows in depth of any of that, other than maybe archaeology, a little bit more about that because of the family business. But all the other stuff, I'm not going to say she's a genius. She's only a remarkable, but she's pretty smart, remarkable.
Cuddle Bear, what's your reason?
Monstrous.
And what is Lilith's reason?
Remarkable.
Okay. So what I would probably suggest is let Cuddle Bear make the roll at a +1 column shift with you helping.
Assisting me?
Well, I figured that would be it because she might know certain symbols from her past, but not know context or what the book is even saying.
I'll call Karma just so we can really, try to nail it. 63, dude. So that's 73 on unearthly. That's deep yellow. But I just like saying that. Unearthly reason feat.
Okay, so these patterns are all geometric in form. Simple combinations of squares, circles, rectangles, lines, all perpendicular lines. No, nothing that's like too extreme. It's all basically 90-degree angles for the most part. Interlocking circles, interlocking squares, interlocking rectangles, some ovals, and so forth. Simple patterns, but when combined, create something rather complex. All of these areas that he's inked over, penciled over, traced, and so forth, run the gamut across the globe to cultures across the globe. A good vast majority of these patterns are identical in each of these individual cultures. And they may be carved into the hilt of a knife. They may be carved into an Egyptian hieroglyphic wall. They may be carved into the leather-bound Bible in another picture. All different sorts of things. And what he has basically discovered is that this particular set of types of patterns can be found everywhere if you look close enough.
All through, so it's almost like a natural phenomenon, but it's like in all societies throughout history. Okay.
Can we compare that to what we know from the chamber? We knew specific ones were in various order. Maybe that is for protection or to like close portals to the energy dimension or the energy plane. Or,
right. Is it suggesting that that's why people are using this as some sort of ward? Or is
I'm wondering if it's the combo, like you're talking about all the various symbols that you're looking up.
Right.
Cuddle Bear. And I'm like, well, this combo is protection. Maybe we have the hilt of the sword one. Are we discussing like runic magic where if we etch these things into our mace and swords and stuff, is that going to
enhance it in some way?
Yeah. Or is it strictly all protection from the dark energy?
In these photos that he's traced these images in, okay, these images are subtle within the pictures that you see, okay? It doesn't just jump off the page. The reason why he has traced these patterns in there is to basically highlight those areas to show, look, it's here, and it's also here, and it's also here. Now, in the chamber that was in the storage unit, all of these patterns, when they lit up, were very obvious, and they looked like, to you, some sort of like runic pattern. Looking back to your astral travel to Gilgamesh's tomb, in the walls and on the tomb, the casket itself, the sarcophagus, these patterns were evident, not subtle, completely evident and visible. Anywhere else, they're not invisible, but they're just subtle.
Like someone's just kind of making a nod to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so these were more like references as opposed to creating something that would actually impact or do something to the environment around them. It's not necessarily a cage.
But it's just that all these different people share this knowledge of it.
Yeah. Like Nyx is known throughout eternity, I guess. So,
or were influenced by it.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if the difference is the ones that are subtle are powerful, whereas the ones that are visible and blatant are more ornamental, as opposed
or maybe
to
it's something
actual ruins.
There, it signifies people or societies she's touched.
I'm actually thinking more along the lines of what the ruins do, not necessarily the connected. I've made that connection with various deities of night. They all seem to have very similar symbols, and she breaks out some of her other books that she had from the Columbia Library. But this, I'm just wondering, are these symbols magic in and of themselves, or do they have to be charged, or like what's the difference between the symbols on the container and what we're seeing here as he traced, and the symbols that we saw on Gilgamesh's tomb, in his tomb?
Well, we could experiment and try to make symbols of our own and see what effect, if any, they have.
Well, it just seems like it has to be turned on. Something triggers it, because it doesn't light up. It didn't light up until the energy was brought into this plane.
Right. You're the component.
And so is it the tech that acknowledges that and then turns on the runes, or are the runes activated by the dark energy? And I'm trying to think of like how we could test this. We could etch something in to something I can etch. I can literally disintegrate stuff. So maybe we try and rebuild the container here so that we have our own version, maybe like in a...
Eventually I would like to do that, but currently I don't think we have the resources.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Is it just the runes?
That's why I said we should experiment. Let us just try with pen and paper. Okay. Then gradually we can keep trying different configurations, different materials. This will be fun.
Do you want to start this now, or do we want to get to Boston and then...
Let's say this... You probably don't want to start, then have to walk away from this. So I suggest we put it off until after Boston.
Okay.
Lilith will pack up all of her stuff, pictures, and trying to think if there's any book that Cuddlebear was reading and trying to put everything together that were like, I'll bring those two to go meet this individual.
Yeah, you can kind of take your pick, really.
Okay. I'll try the books that had the symbols that were on the containment unit.
Okay. Yeah, there are a few that have similar markings, yes.
Okay. Just for reference.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys
Harvard? Oh, go ahead.
Do you guys want to get some like plexiglass or some sort of acrylic stuff to etch in and have it delivered here? I mean,
it's kind of expensive.
Got the resources.
No, we do.
Dude.
I didn't know we had an
Stark
open credit
Stark
account.
wrote us he wrote us a check for what, $3 million?
Well,
what's that?
Lee and the Aquarian.
Aquarian, yeah.
The ones that are the curators of that. But
so we have to go to them.
You'd have to go to Lee or Aquarius to do that, yeah.
Put in requisition.
Yeah.
He's like, I told you to lay low. Why do you need $500,000 for post-it notes? We're trying something. Plexiglass.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe that's a project we should start when we get back.
And
Okay, we can
also, you guys need to try to get together and figure out what it is that you want to spend that $3 million on. So that
Upgrades.
you can
Fucking
update
dune buggy, duh.
invoice.
Big
You got
ass
nice-
dune buggy with smoke. And it's,
Guys, you realize we are in a firehouse, so we definitely need a Ghostbuster mobile.
yeah.
Yep. We need a vehicle, maybe like a training room.
I want a hot dog, a soda.
One of those kitty towers.
Yeah.
That goes up the pole. Like,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The three. Yeah.
Two
so,
poles.
do you want me
One
to?
with.
Yeah, scratching pole.
All right.
Call
are
Lee
we
and
gonna
get that started?
Yeah, we are gonna go in and I'll create a circular donut, kind of like where everybody can sit down and talk to each other, and I'll just be in the middle and I'll fly it at remarkable speed, hopefully keeping the wind friction away from these guys. But I will warn you, don't stick your hand out; it'll suck you right out, and then I'm not going to be able to help you. So, looking at you,
Okay.
Shatter, the only one that can't fly.
Yeah.
Oh, we dropped Shatter again. How long is it going to take him to recollect?
I've been thinking about it. Worst case scenario, I'll silver, sir. I'll put some of the glass under me and lift that up. Just use that to get rid of if I have to. But as long as you're creating these comfortable black cushioned seats, it's
Yeah.
first class travel.
Yeah. So let's go.
The
All
boss
right.
thing.
I
so
guess
you guys-
we'll take off from the roof.
All right, you make the flight to Harvard and end up getting there just in time to meet with the professor. And he is waiting outside the main library there on campus.
I would suggest like landing in front of him.
No. I was going to land like off campus, and we would walk onto campus to go to the library.
Sure.
And of
But he
course, we'd look. Like, where's the library? I don't know where the fuck Harvard main library is. I'm a pre-frosh. Sorry.
Well, you get your directions to the library, and he is he's waiting outside.
Karen could direct us there.
That's true.
And he sees you approaching and waves at the group and motions you all to come over. And he walks towards you guys, hand extended, and he says, "Hello, Maya."
Oh, Professor Ludgate. And she will just kind of give him the fist bump. Like, sorry, I don't shake hands.
Come on inside. I've sequestered a study for us where we can all talk privately.
She follows, kind of looks over at Colin and kind of just does the...
Yeah, he does it. Back.
She does have the Mace of Justice in her backpack and her elbow knives. Are those like straps or something like that she had to do?
Yeah.
I can't remember those. And then, of course, she's got a pistol. So I don't know if all
She's
of
loaded.
She's loaded. And she's also got
Is there
5
metal?
grenades. So there's
I hope there's not a metal detector in this
There
library.
are definitely metal detectors.
That's
in the
where I was
library,
like, maybe taking out the grenades on the counter as we go through the metal detector is not
Matrix when
something.
we walk through, just like what?
She'll leave the grenades back at the fireplace, and she'll just have the mace, not the gun,
Okay.
and not the elbow knives. She'll leave all that at the firehouse.
The mace is metal, so it will probably
Mhm.
set off the metal detector. So do you want to go in with that?
Well, I'll just basically take it out, and I'll have one of my T-shirts kind of wrapped around it. And I said, I'll go over to the person at the desk, like, this is an artifact. Please don't lose it. Can I keep this behind the counter while I go in? Or do you want me to, is it okay if I take this in? I'll just kind of show it and I'll take off the shirt. And it's like, it's in pristine condition. You can see this is absolutely amazing. And it's really heavy. Really, check it out.
This sophomore that is manning the front counter is like, Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, if I can take it in, by all means, I just don't want to break the rules, but this is obviously going to set off.
I don't think you can take it in. Is she okay to take this in, Professor? Well, it is an artifact, so yes, if you don't mind, I don't mind. Sure,
Thank
I
you,
don't
Professor.
care.
She takes it back and slides it back in. And she walks through. Beep, beep, beep. It's the mace. It's the mace. Ignore all the other grenades and pistols. No, just kidding. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else is gonna ping like super suit people that have to walk through.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So both of you guys ping as well.
Shatter, do you have your big ass sword or whatever, or the axe?
The axe, no, we'll have left that back at the fireplace for this particular trip, knowing we were going to Harvard. I figured it'd be good not to walk around the school campus
With a giant weapon.
with the giant axe. The glass is weird enough.
Professor Ludgate says, "Don't worry, son. They're all with me. Everything's fine. You all are closing down shortly anyway. I'll take any heat that happens to come along. Whatever you say, Prof." And he continues to walk down the hallway and goes to an elevator. It takes you guys up to the second floor. And as you guys are walking towards this little study that he's sequestered for you all, the lights in the library are beginning to kind of shut down for the night. He says, "It's a good thing I have special access. Go ahead, step inside." And he opens the door for you guys.
Maya's going to look around at the door and everywhere around. Just as a quick, like, hey, are there any green lights that are like, she'll kind of maybe look around. There are windows in this office, basically.
Yeah, there's windows. Yep. Mm-hmm.
She'll lean down and pet Mr. Cuddlebear, and will think to him, do you see any symbols etched anywhere inside this room?
Kind of look around and see if he has anything etched on the glass, or if there's any runes,
markings like on the walls.
Yeah.
No, it seems to be clean. Just a regular old room.
Then she'll kind of just do a final pat, stand up, and unlock in.
Okay. All right. Everybody follows, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do, but I'm gonna hang by the door.
Okay. All right. He walks in and he says, "Do come, have a seat." And he's got several chairs kind of laid out in front of the desk there for you guys.
I'll jump up on the desk.
Like I said, I'll still hang by the door.
She'll grab a seat and start digging in her bag, mainly for the main picture that has the three of them together. And I'd like, I'm going to show him and ask, when exactly was this taken? Do you remember this? and then right after that, she's going to say, so about the Tomb of Gilgamesh. As he's looking at the picture, she's just immediately going to go in. It's like, so tell me what happened at the Tomb of Gilgamesh.
How do you know about that?
We had a friend that helped us. We saw it with our own eyes. She was coming.
You saw your father?
Yeah, when he blipped.
I may call you Lilith, yes?
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Lilith, about your father and about what has happened to you. And this picture brings back a lot of memories. I haven't seen this picture in ages. Your father and I go back quite some time, well before you were born. Your father, as you know, was a well-known archaeologist, even in his younger days. When I was a graduate student here at Harvard, I discovered through a genealogy class the heritage of my family. I come from a long line of Celtic Druids, all of whom were wiped out during the Dark Ages. But the bloodline persisted. Your father, Marcus, came to speak of an expedition he was part of in England that was directly connected to members of my ancestry. I went to him with my findings, and we became fast friends. I owe Marcus the credit for putting me in the place where I became a master of the Druidic arts. But to be frankly blunt, I made a terrible mistake. I betrayed a friend. Lilith, this may come as a shock to you, but your father was madly in love with another woman before he met your mother, the woman in this picture.
Beatrix.
Yes. She was a beautiful woman, an explorer like him. Beatrix Duchamp. She was markedly older than us, but your father was indeed an old soul, and they were together through many of their journeys. When I joined the ranks, we were, the three of us, inseparable. Long story short, your father became more and more obsessed with his work, while Beatrix and I were becoming more and more obsessed with each other. A pregnancy was the breaking point between the three of us. In a terrible case of mistaken identity, the child was mistaken as my own progeny, when years later we would discover that he was indeed your father's son. I raised Zachary throughout his childhood. After his mother died, it wasn't long after the truth came out, and I discovered that Zachary was your father's son. By this point, though, your father, Marcus, had moved on. He had another family and a new daughter. You were 7 years old when your grandmother on your father's side passed. That was the day where your father became the avatar of the night that is, the shard that rests within the amulet that now lies around your neck. The avatar for the night that is has been tied to your family for thousands of years, passed down from Mayan kings throughout generations. Your father left so that you would never have to bear that burden. My son, Marcus's son, your half-brother, discovered the heritage that I had hidden from him. Against my wishes, he returned to America in search of his birth father. And when he found him, befriended him, and joined him in his expeditions. Eventually, Zachary discovered the power that he possessed and became obsessed with it. I believe that Nyx corrupted my son, our son, for he began to lash out in anger. There was a breaking point between Zachary and your father, and he was sent away, eventually joining the military, and in a psychotic break, burned his entire regiment alive. The cause of the fire was never determined, but I believe that in his quest to retrieve the night that is, he came into contact with a celestial power that shared the same interests as him, the desire to reclaim the heart of Nyx. You have the night that is. Marcus and I had reconnected after Zachary's disappearance and had been desperately trying to find the night that was and the night that yet may be for several months before the blip. Zachary is obsessed with gaining the shards, and without your father, I was at a loss for what to do. But I knew I couldn't let her out, nor could I let it fall in the hands of my disturbed son. So, Lilith, I am afraid I owe you a deep and sincere apology. If you haven't figured it out by now, you are the avatar for one of the most ancient beings in the universe. Now, I understand you've taken her name. She whispers it to you, doesn't she?
Yes.
Nyx is associated with the Greco-Roman pantheon known as the Olympians. But in fact, Nyx is actually a primordial being that was brought about at the dawn of time. She is the daughter of chaos and lived for a millennia until her peaceful existence was disrupted by the coming of the light and by the Titan god who would become king, Zeus himself. After Zeus, other Olympians appeared on Earth who carved up the silent darkness and forged their own kingdom. Nyx watched as the Olympians birthed children of their own while she was shunned and sidelined. Through her own magics, she gave birth to Hypnos, the god of sleep, with the hope that he would become accepted by the gods, but he too was frowned upon. Night and dark were banished to the outer side with all of the unknowns humanity feared. With each new legion of followers the Olympians gained, Nyx's rage began to grow and fester, which brought her a set of twins, Apate and Dolos, deceit and trickery. Nyx and her children rebelled against the gods, turning on Olympus. But in the end, the combined might of the gods were too much for her and her family. Zeus ripped out her heart and shattered it into 3 pieces: the night that is, the night that was, and the night that may yet be. Nyx was cast into a dark tomb devoid of light along with her children, and the shards of her heart were dispersed to unknown locations. Now, your father and I became convinced that one of the shards was given to a powerful man-god of another pantheon. When we uncovered Gilgamesh's tomb and discovered it to be empty, devoid of remains, it confirmed my suspicions that Gilgamesh is still alive. And this was the moment that you must have seen, the moment before your father fell to dust. I spent many sleepless nights in that tomb after cursing you with that amulet. I studied the markings on the walls and the sarcophagus, and this is what I discovered. There are patterns similar to those on the walls of Gilgamesh's tomb embedded within the network of the modern world. They are subtle, but upon close inspection, undeniable that ancient civilizations across the globe have been influenced by a common mindset, something that I have come to understand as the unimind. These symbols in Gilgamesh's tombs, variations can be found in the architecture of not only Mesopotamia, but Egypt, Greece, Ireland, Mayan culture, Russian mythology, nearly every culture on Earth. And there is an energy, a cosmic energy, that flows through it. And I've been able to tap into that energy. Your father and I worked very hard together to try to create a space where Nyx could be perhaps not entombed but at least depowered for the time that she would take control over him. And I'm sure you have seen that her power comes and goes when you call upon it. Am I not correct in this?
I don't know if the power comes and goes, but the anger and the heat and the fear, that ebbs and flows. Whenever I've been scared or stressed out or in a fight, I feel as though any time, at any moment, if I get hit or if I get scared, she will take it as an opportunity to break through. So I don't feel that my ability changes. And she'll kind of light up with the black on her hands. It's like it doesn't change. And she'll just like throw this like stuff back and forth. And it's caustic, but it doesn't change. And then she'll let it go and it dissipates. So maybe is Zachary trying to get all three together? All three hearts to put it back together?
I don't believe so. I believe he just covets the one that is around your neck. That was what he was after when he turned on your father.
Did your father know if these three shards had different abilities, different capabilities?
That we don't know. What your father believed was combining these could potentially release him of his curse.
But then what would happen with Nyx? Would she be entrapped in her heart or free?
That is what we don't know. But that is also the thing that we wanted to keep away from Zachary. Because if he got... I don't know. After he was removed from the armed services, we lost track of him.
You mentioned that you and Father were trying to contain Nyx. We stumbled across a place that looked just like that. But it also looked a little lived in, right, guys?
In the storage facility.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes. Your father
there was
and I...
food in there for a couple of months ago.
Yes, your father and I created that for him.
Were you there a few months ago, or?
Myself, no. I would assume that he was.
I thought he was with you on a day.
He was at the time of the blip, yes, but we would come and go and would begin these searches, and we would lose track of one another for a little while. He had other places like this in several different countries, but I was the one that helped him build these things many years ago.
It just seems that if Father was using this room, he didn't clean it out before he left, which means he intended to come back before 2 months ago.
Certainly, yes. But no one saw the Thanos Snap coming.
Okay. Do you know, you don't know where Zach is now?
I don't.
Do you have a picture of him?
Yeah.
Yes. Give me one moment. And he kind of twirls his hands in the air, and you see this green flame appear, and out of the green flame, he pulls a photograph.
So look for it. Take a look.
Yeah.
Karen? She'll just hold it up to Colin.
Karen, can you run a comparison of that to the patients at Ravencroft?
just as a quick description, he is a man of about 26, 27 years of age, roughly, if you had to guess. And the photograph that you see, he has kind of short cropped hair and a goatee, somewhat like the professor's, but more closely trimmed. And Karen runs the comparison there, and she actually does come up with a photograph of patient 86.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, Karen.
Guess we know where your son is.
You know where my son is?
Well,
Or was.
we know who, yes. Not I'm wondering, Karen, can you access the security feed from Fremont Storage?
Give me a roll on that one there, Clint.
Looking for face recognition of Zach coming in there. I'm still not sure it was
Gotcha.
my father.
Mm-hmm.
What am I gonna roll on?
I think it's on the amazing column, whatever the computer system is there for Stark Tech.
Yeah. I'll go call Karma on that. 37. I should be able to take that to yellow, no problem. Yeah, we'll go to yellow.
Okay. Yes, Karen can access the footage, and from what you can tell, the only person that has accessed that in the last several months has been your father.
So it is video of him going in.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The last time, I'm going to ask for the last time he left the storage.
Mm-hmm. It would have been probably 3.5 months ago.
And this is on a screen somewhere, or how does it?
Like a timestamp, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying like what? How is Maya seeing or Lilith seeing this? Is it on a screen?
I would assume that
on a phone.
Karen probably would be sending it to your phone.
Okay. Yeah. And she'll look at the phone and she'll kind of just touch it and kind of just see and zoom in and see if she can see his face. Mm-hmm. Still a little nostalgic, I suppose. Mm-hmm. And so now it's
Dr. We'll call him Dr. Druid now.
Yeah. Okay.
He sees you doing that, and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "You know, your father truly loved you. He didn't want this for you, and I, unfortunately, bore the burden of having to find Nyx's next host. This is not what he wanted for you. It could have gone to Zachary, but I could not send it to him, not because of the love that I have for him, but because of the fear that I have of our son and what he would do if given that power."
So do you know of a way to, are they going to kill me for this, to take it off? Or is there a way to get this off of me and give it to someone else?
I would assume you have looked into this yourself, yes?
I have, but this is very specific to the pendant. I didn't know about shards until yesterday. I don't know what this is, and I can't remove it.
That's right. The only way to remove it is the death of the host.
Actually, that may not be true.
How is that?
I have spoken with this entity we have been calling Nyx, Uh, I hope you do not mind, Lilith, but while you were sleeping, I took the opportunity to communicate with her telepathically. If we were to find all three of these shards and bring them together, it would basically release you of being her vessel, but it would indeed free her and her children. And she wants nothing more than vengeance upon Zeus and any of the Olympians that may remain. This does seem to be her sole focus, but I fear of what she might do after her vengeance has been met.
Do we know where the other shards are? You seemed
He can
Alexander.
sense, she can somewhat sense that there is one on this plane other than the one that you possess, but the third one she cannot sense at all.
I can corroborate with that.
Is it because it's protected, maybe shielded from Nyx, so that she can't find it? Do we know who hid these things and where they might be?
I do believe that's the case, and what I have been feverishly working on since your father's untimely demise is honing my ability to track these cosmic energies that are connected to these patterns, these runes. I believe that I have traced this cosmic energy to a location in the outback of Australia.
Blooming onions.
And whatever this energy is, it's alive.
That's a big one.
Alive.
In your research, alive. So it has a host. It has a vessel. Is that what you're saying?
No, I believe the cosmic energy that I am sensing is connected to something that is alive. These runes that were on Gilgamesh's tomb.
Well,
I believe that somehow he has survived all of this time. Perhaps it is connected to him or his progeny.
do we know what all these shards do?
We know what
This,
yours. We know what
obviously.
yours does.
Are there any stories or tales of anyone else coming into close contact with the other two? Or is it
The only
purely
stories we were familiar with were the ones that your father knew that were passed down among the family. And that you were the protectors of the night that is.
Are there protectors of the others?
One would assume.
Wait, so how many children did she have originally? There was
Three. Hypnos, who is sleep, and then the two deceit and trickery or whatever.
The twins, yeah.
Twins.
Mhm.
The oldest son was the sleep.
So maybe the shards are kind of similar to what, like, since yours is hers and you have darkness, maybe one of them is like sleep, and then the other one is like, deceit and
Illusion. Dream.
Yeah, like maybe
These
it
are all-
bestows the.
Yeah,
the
but these are
powers of-
part of her, not
Yeah.
her sons.
Well, true.
Well, the idea of, Adam's rib, maybe, sort of like, oh, it's her heart. I'm just nervous that one of these exists, and evidently it's running around with a folktale. I'm not really interested in fighting Gilgamesh. I've read the books. I don't want to do it.
Also, Australia would be a long flight,
Yes.
even at our speed.
Theoretically, we'd be laying low.
Exactly. The lowest of the low, mate. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Tells us what we want to buy for our $3 million.
A private jet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not going to
exactly.
cut it, but yeah.
So
okay.
do we know, is patient 86 still in Ravencroft, or did he escape?
That's what I was wondering.
He is still there, at least according to what Karen searched.
Okay.
So did we tell Dr. Druid that, or do we just like?
You just said you know where he is,
We didn't
but
mention.
I assume you guys are talking out loud with this.
Yeah.
I said that out loud.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Lilith is steadfast in her interest to go and meet her half-brother. So she's interested because he wants it. I mean, he knows at least as much as she does, if not more. And maybe he knows about the other ones.
Is it a good idea for you to meet him, since you can't get rid of the shard?
Maybe not.
What's he going to
do?
What's he
like,
going to do when he sees that?
He won't see it. I can pull it up.
Yeah.
It's if he senses it. If he has his own, then there might be a problem.
Yeah.
But obviously he's in the
out,
insane asylum, right? So he's under lock and key.
He knows. He knows you have it, though. He's sending people to kill you. He knows you have it.
Is he the one sending it? Or
Yes.
is there somebody else involved? Because I don't know if I don't believe it's Zach necessarily, right?
I have a note
That sent the
saying
people to
patient
my
86.
grandmother's spot?
Yes.
You think he sent all those, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like working
have
from
a note.
inside the place, like Joker
Right.
style.
Well, then I should definitely go see him.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Do you think he's got all of his little henchmen? They're going to jump me right at the entryway to the insane asylum?
We don't know what he's. We don't know
one-
what he's capable of himself.
If there's one thing I've learned about Lilith in the time that I've known her, it's sets her mind to doing something. She's probably going to do it. So it's probably a matter of if we're going with her or not.
You don't need to be helping.
We should go with
How
her.
about
idea.
you go in and talk to him? I think we can get information from him.
I
Or
agree.
we let Dr. Druid go in and see his son.
I was about ready to suggest that myself. I would have to agree that putting you close to him, even though he is under lock and key, may not be the best idea. But yes, I would be willing to go.
Wait a minute. What if Doctor? If I'm going to do something that might surprise you, I change into Lilith. What if I do go?
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah. Good old master of disguise.
Yeah.
By yourself?
No, with you.
And Lilith can feed you lines via me, so you can actually act like her.
Well,
And you
I
guys
also
can be
look like
close.
my mother. I also look like my mother.
Well,
Yes.
but
So, does he know that my mother was blipped? Dr. Druid. You knew. How did you know?
How did I know?
Yeah. You said Lilith, even before I even did anything. I look and sound like my mother. How did you know?
It's a kind of magic.
Would your
Yeah.
son be able to do the same thing?
My son did not choose the same path, and he is also not actually of my blood. So teaching him the ways of the Druid was not within his means. But I do believe, and if he is indeed at Ravencroft, he certainly has some sort of powers, and my assumption would be some sort of immolation due to what happened to his regiment.
does he know
Fire starter, twisted
what's
fire.
does he know what I and or my mother look like?
I believe so, yes.
Oh yeah, he's introduced. So.
No, I'm wondering if he knows what Lilith the kid looks like, or Maya. I'm assuming Maya because family friends. She probably would have been around, but Lilith seems that she was born and separated kind of right from the get-go.
Well, they were trying to kidnap you in your form, though. In that.
Looking like Maya. So they had obviously. Well, they also. It could have been the Nyx was the tip-off, though. The black.
I think what it was, since you weren't there in that play session, they were saying grab the girl, the female. But it was because of the amulet around your neck. So whether it was Lilith or Maya that had it, they didn't care who it was. All they knew is we got to get that amulet.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe they'll be able to sense the amulet. But yeah, go in as Lilith. See if you can get some stuff, and yeah, if we can do the whole
switcheroo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant plan.
Did you guys ever see this really old movie called Roxanne?
No.
No.
All right. So I think with that in mind, knowing that we're going to go about it in this manner, it's going to make me kind of rethink a few little things here. And we'll call it for tonight. And then we'll meet up at Ravencroft next session. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right.
Ravencroft, here we come.
We didn't do a whole lot of rolling tonight, but a whole lot of storytelling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Role playing. Yeah, man.
Gentlemen, we are all
Role play,
old.
yeah.
Everybody stay safe.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you in a couple
Good
weeks.
night.
Bye.
Okay.
Right.
Bye.